anyway, today I want to share with you a suite that I have only just got and had a play with. I know everyone else has probably seen it online and seen so many cards with it, but for me it's new and very exciting, so I wanted to share with you today. So I am going to flip over and I will get started. Okay, so pop that there. Oh, excuse me. So is your area, Cindy, where you are? How are you, your area where you live? Is that got many cases, or, you know, are you doing quite well there? Right. I'll just put that straight. So it is the Peony Garden that we're going to be looking at today. Now let me just find it on here so that I can see what is happening. As I said, everyone else, I've seen so many absolutely beautiful cards made with this, but I have not had a chance to play with it yet, and I just wanted to share it today. So it has so many beautiful things, and I absolutely love the colours in this suite, I must admit. They are all my colours. So if you look at the new catalogue, it does have the colours here that are part of this suite, which is Petal Pink, Grey Granite and Basic Grey. And these are the base colours of all the designer series paper, etc. So in this bundle, you do get, our area is considered a hotspot. Oh my gosh, I hope you stay well, and I hope all your family are well. That is so scary. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yes, please do say, I'm sure you're doing all the right things. Yeah, very, very scary. Anyway, as I say, the Peony Garden, I'm sure you've made beautiful cards, and I'm sure you've already got, I'm sure I'm the last person to get this, but I think I'm just super excited now that I have got it and tried a few things with it. So as I say, it comes with the bundle, the stamps, the dies, some vellum doilies, which are really cute. You can colour these if you want to, or just use them as they are. And they come with designer series paper, faceted gems, dainty diamonds, and shimmer ribbon. Now we're going to be using most of that today. And I wanted to make a really soft card because I think this paper and suite really does sort of lend itself to quite soft colours. So just wanted to share some of the papers with you. So we will be using vellum to create the flower. As I said, I just wanted to do something quite soft today. And these are some of the papers. Aren't they gorgeous? Yeah. Petal Pink. Petal Pink's one of those funny colours, isn't it? It looks quite orange at times, and other times it looks really, really pink. It is beautiful. Really have got to like it. And I've seen some lovely cards made with people just colouring the background of this DSP, just blue, etc. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful papers as always. Okay, let's put that aside and I will show you what we will be making. So this is the card. As I said, I wanted something really soft, and I wanted to try and use, without overusing, a lot of the things from the suite to create this card and highlight it for you. So I have started off with a basic white, whisper white, a thick cardstock, 14.8 by 21. And then I have run that through. So with the dies, you do get this edge piece here, and I've created that scalloped edge on the card. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, I'm really pleased with it, actually. I'm really pleased how it turned out. So I've created that scalloped edge, and then I have popped a strip of some of the DSP on the inside there, so that then shows on the front, and then that's just the strip there. So let's get started and I'll show you how I made it. Now I have made in advance the vellum flower, but I just thought I'd show you with the petal pink because it's quite hard to see what I'm doing with the vellum on screen. So what I'll be doing with the petal pink will be exactly what you would do if you were using vellum. I just thought it would be easier to see. Okay, so let's just grab some bits and pieces. So we've got the basic cardstock, as I say, that's been scalloped. I'm just going to glue that down there. As I've said, you know, it's been so popular, this suite, and I have seen some absolutely beautiful cards, and I just love the new format of being able to use some dies to create a realistic 3D flower. Okay, so that's the strip. Then I've just used the grey granite mat. So that strip is 2.5 centimetres by 14.3. And this is just a grey granite mat. And I've just done that at 8 centimetres by 14.3. So I'm just going to put, so that's matching this colour here, which is the grey granite. So you're getting lots of card making done, Cindy. Are you is everyone isolated at home? Okay, I'm going to pop that on. Brilliant. Now, this is using the embossing folder. So I've used Petal Pink. And this is the embossing folder. Beautiful design, like a diamond pattern. And all I've done is actually use my white ink pad, my Whisper white ink pad. And I've just run over, because there's lots of raised dots, etc. I just wanted to really make sure that they were highlighted. So just gently rubbed my ink pad over, and that just really highlights the I think I need to ring ink it. Actually, it's not coming up. Oh, there we are. That's better. Now too much. That's all right. Oh, luckily it's white. Okay, so that's just to highlight that you're not on lockdown anymore, but still taking all precautions. Okay, that's, yeah. I think we learn, don't we? I see things on TV now, and people, I say, oh, you're getting too close. You're not to keep your social distancing. You sort of really start to think about it a lot, don't you? About all the things you've got to do. It becomes second nature after a while. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this up to the edge there. And then I'm only going to put glue. Now, as you know, I'm sure you do know, that when you put glue underneath vellum, you can see it. So with the card, a lot of the top part of that is going to be covered. So I'm just going to pop a bit of glue where I know I'm going to be popping the flower, etc. So you don't need much, just a few dabs here and there. Once the other things are on it as well, it will keep it down. Okay. It just adds to the texture. So cute, that piece of vellum, so soft actually. Really do like it. Now, what will I do next? I'll create the flower next, I think. Okay, so what I have used is, now I'll show you it. I must admit, when I first looked at all these dies and I had to go online to see how to make this. I must admit, I thought, oh my goodness, what do I use? So I have cut it all out and I will show you exactly what to do. It is quite easy, I must admit. Okay, so you have the 4 dies. You have this large one, and then you have the next flower shape and then two more sort of square shapes. So they go from large to small. You need to sort of remember that when we're putting it together. So to highlight it or to add a bit of colour, I have seen it done a few ways, but I quite like the way the most of the colouring is done on the middle part, which is sort of more like what a peony is like. Now this is my petal pink, but this is so faded so much, the colour stickies. I do have to often look quite closely to see what this is. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of colour around the join. So I'll put that flat just there. With the big one though, I'm going to put some around the edges as well, I think. I do know too, when you use petal pink, when you pop it on, it does look quite orange actually when you pop it on. It does dry into more of a pinky colour. So with the vellum, I just do exactly what I'm doing here. With the vellum too, if I was to have done the vellum on screen, you do have to wait a little bit for the ink to dry. So that is another reason why I thought I would just show you exactly what I did with the flower with paper. So the next thing I did, which of course you don't have to do, but ooh, it just doesn't seem right, does it? But I have screwed up the paper and just given it some texture before I put it together. Being careful not to rip it. I did rip one actually when I did it with the vellum. Okay, so just gently open them out again. I haven't scrunched them up too much. Okay. I think that's going to be the smallest one. Okay, brilliant. Now I'm just going to see what's happened here because I have suddenly, it's not coming up. So I'm hoping that I haven't lost everybody. Hello. So sorry, my screen's gone, so I'm hoping that you haven't gone. I just dropped out. There we go. That means that people are still there. That's good. Sorry about that. Gosh. Okay, so it looks all messy here. So identify the smallest, the next size, and the biggest. So we're going to start with the smallest, and then it just gets tucked in to, so you know these match on the bottom here. So that's how you know where everything goes. I'm going to tuck the smallest in this slot here. And I'm going to pop a bit of glue just on the bottom. So you just pop it in that slot, then you line it up and just glue. Doesn't look really like a flower yet, but okay. And then we're going to do the same with the next one. So once again, we know that that is where we are going to put the flower. Once we pop it in, we're going to slip it in here. And I'm going to pop a bit of glue on that bottom. I'm going to line these up. Oh, there it is. I thought there was should be another piece there. Okay. starting to look a little bit more like a flower. And this is the last one. So popping it down, adding a bit of glue, and so be quite frugal with the glue when you're using it. When you are using it with the vellum, of course. Now it's starting to look like a flower. And I have popped a little bit of glue underneath here, I must admit, just to keep it in place. Oops. Again, just lining those bits up. Brilliant. And then I have just cut out a piece. I have done, with the vellum piece, I have done really just used petal pink on the stamen and just made it a lot darker, just so it stands out. But I tried yellow and it really, I didn't think it looked quite right on that, so I went back to just the pink. But there is a little slit here, which is, I assume, I would have to say, I would naturally think that is for popping the stamen in. There we go. And that is the flower. So as I say, I used vellum in it exactly the same process as what I've just shown you with this flower. So we will then, I am going to use this one, as I say, because I wanted it to be quite soft. Now, I have already embossed this and I have used Love and Thanks to a Dear Friend. You haven't seen the flower scrunch like that, it makes them look fantastic. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I really like it. Just like a flower would be, sort of quite textured, I think. And I really do like it with the vellum. The vellum can be a bit flat otherwise. It really does give that. And I've put, the other thing I've done with this too, and I can do with it, is I've put Wink of Stella on it as well. And it really has given that, I don't know if you can see, but I've given that a quite a lot of glimmer on there. Like a bit of glimmer. So let's just put a little bit of a point in there, and I've just done a tag. So I've just white embossed Love and Thanks to a Dear Friend. I've got someone in mind for this actually, hence why it sort of came about, but I did want to have a play with the suite. Okay, so that's ready to go. So the next thing, I'm going to put the ribbon on so that I can put the base on the front. So I'm going to use, I've been using this actually to put my ribbon on instead of my double-sided tape. It works out really well. So I'm just going to run a bit of tape down there. And lost a bit of sticky. Yeah. Make sure I flick it properly at the end. And then I'm using the satin ribbon. And I'm just going to cut a piece big enough to go around the back. There we go. Pop that there. So this all matches as well. This is beautiful, though it is a little bit stiff, so I did find it hard to tie a really nice ribbon. So I'll show you what I've done to sort of just give it a bit more softness. Now, before I start putting these on the front of the card, I will stamp. I did stamp once I'd put it all together, and because this is quite not bulky on the front, well, relatively bulky, it was a bit more difficult to stamp. So I am using the grey granite just to pop a sentiment in the middle, and this is Your Sweet Friendship Refreshes the Soul. I think that is such a lovely sentiment. Okay, usually I would stand up, so yep, perfect, thank goodness. And out of the gorgeous whale dung, which is another set I really love the designer series paper with this this suite. I've used the little heart and a bit of petal pink. So let me close that before I get it all over the front of my card. A bit of petal pink. And I'm just going to pop a little heart at the top of that. There. Okay, so let's finish doing the front of this card. I'm going to pop some dimensionals on there. And brilliant. Now, I always like to pop up my cards on dimensionals if I've got ribbon behind. Just means there's not going to be a lump. This ribbon actually would be quite fine. It's not too thick. But some ribbons, if you were to try and glue it down flat onto the front of your card, you'd have a bit of a bump underneath where the ribbon is. Oops. Right, just checking they're all sticky. Now, once again, I've got to try and do this without standing up. Brilliant. Okay, let's start putting some of these other things on. The flower. Now I'm going to pop that on like that, but what I want to do is actually glue this on first. So I'm just going to glue this on and I'm going to pop it so it comes out about there. Yep. I'm going to do that first. Now, I'm not going to do any glue down the bottom there because that's going to be over the edge. Okay, now I'm just put a couple of dimensionals on here. I get it right. Now, of course, if it doesn't sit right when you pop it on your card, you can always use glue dots. I think when I popped this on, I popped a glue dot under there just to make it sit a bit better. Depends on how you've scrunched it up as to how it will sit. So those glue dots are always good for that sort of thing. Okay, so pop that on that angle, whereas this one's sitting a bit flatter, so that's good. Okay, now these I have stamped on vellum also, and I've used Pear Pizzazz and used the leaf dies in the die set to cut out 2 large ones and 1 small one. So we're just going to glue, I put a little bit of glue on the bottom of that, because you won't see the bottom of that, so easy to glue. Just going to put that one going along the top of the sentiment, and I'm going to put the smaller one at the top, that way I think. It's hard actually once you've stamped vellum to sometimes see where the actual ink is. Okay, and then the last one, which side? So I tried to do cardstock with this, but because the flower was in vellum, the cardstock did not look right. So I just kept to vellum, and I thought it was actually turned out really well. It's nice and soft. Now, because the ribbon, as I say, is quite stiff, I've actually added a bit of this Whisper White tulle ribbon. I love this ribbon, so soft and easy to use. So I'm just going to start off with, I probably should have cut that a bit bigger, but to make it easier, never mind. I'm just going to tie a knot with that, like so, and then with the shimmer ribbon, grey granite shimmer ribbon, I'm going to do a bow. So it's not a soft ribbon, beautiful ribbon, but it's not soft, so it does sit quite squarely. So, oops, I got the wrong ones there, they're not going to cut my ribbon. And let's pop that to one side. Bit of a glue dot. Compact me tool, a little spatula. I use this little spatula part of this quite a bit actually. Very, very handy. And pop that on the back of there, and then I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to cut another bit of this ribbon. I'll do it a bit longer this time so it's easier. And I am going to just tie another knot. Just makes it look as though it's a fuller bow and adds a bit of softness, I think. Put that in that way a bit. Got to play around until you're happy with where it is, and then of course I will pop a little glue dot to keep that all. See, that just adds, I think, a little bit of added softness to that. And let's have a look. Off? No, I'm going to waste it. Okay, now I'm going to pop that under there, and that just keeps it all where you want it. There we go. Oops, that's come adrift a bit with all that fiddling. Yeah. And the last thing, of course, I'm trying to put that in there. The last thing, of course, you have to add the bling. This is the bling that comes with this suite. It's just gorgeous. Did I have the catalogue just to find the name of what it's called? Let's see. It is called, they are called Dainty Diamonds is the name of the embossing folder actually. Elegant faceted gems. They are just beautiful. They are so glimmery. They have lots of different shapes cut into the top, and they really glimmer and shine. And this must be in petal pink, and this is in white, and this is in clear. And I just really love them. I think they're gorgeous. So I'm going to pop a couple on, of course. No project is finished without a couple of bling, and put that there, that's handy. And 2, 3, and so I'm using the white and the petal pink. Hold that one up and see if you can actually see the glitter on that. And one more. And it's done. All finished. So, as I say, that is using the cardstock, but I have used vellum. And I really did like how that turned out. And inside, as I say, your sweet friendship refreshes the soul. So I have used, I think, every part of this beautiful, beautiful suite. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love layered cards, I must admit. I try not to sometimes, and then I always end up using them. But thank you so much, Cindy. I think layered cards do look stunning. There's so much to them, isn't there? Yeah, so enjoy, and I'm sure you've probably already got the suite, and I'd love to see any cards that you've made with it. But as I say, I've just started using it, and it is absolutely beautiful. And I hope everyone has a fantastic week. And I hope to see you all again next Sunday. Take care.